our for our series of lectures, the simple guide for world peace. So yeah, really great to see everyone here. My name is Paul. I am a volunteer from Brazil for Family Federation, and today I'll be your MC. And the title for today is called it's called Absolute Sex: Importance of Purity and Fidelity. So let's welcome our lecturer. Yes, Sarah Ahmed. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Let's give a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Your nice introduction. Um, okay, so good evening, and it's good to see you. Today we have an important topic, actually. It's called anyway, it's part of still we are talking about the conjugal love. So it's part of the series of the conjugal love in this curriculum. And yeah, it's a topic that relates to all of us because we go through this whether before marriage or after marriage. And as Paul mentioned, it's called Absolute Sex, and this is ninth lecture. Just a quick reminder. And it's interesting. The term absolute sex is a new term that the founder of our organizations and our movement he used this term a lot, and it's really, yeah, it gives you a different perspective of how people view the relationships between men and women. Because when you talk about the sexual relationship, actually there are so many difficulties, and there are so many struggles in the society. And I think the most important struggle is sexual immorality, or even free sex in certain environments and certain situations. But we know so far from the lectures that we heard that actually, even though it's called free sex, but actually it doesn't really give freedom. It destroys family unit. It destroys all the realms of the heart, all the realms of the love, because it doesn't excuse me, it doesn't allow the relationship between a man and a woman to be protected and actually to be free, but it allows it to be yeah, not taken care of well. And the outcome is not the outcome doesn't bring, doesn't bring a result, doesn't bring a total joy. And so far we heard from the lecture number 6, we heard about the term that in the society it is said sometimes to that sex can be safe sex, but actually safe is not true. It's not safe, actually. Actually, if you talk about safe, the safe is the one within the marriage, in marriage dimension, or the marriage institution. This is the actually the absolute sex, or the safe sex. And this is what Father Moon, our founder, said regarding this new term. He said there is an absolute requirement that all people must fulfill, no matter who they are, which is the model of absolute sex. The first stage is maintaining sexual purity prior to getting married, and second is the fidelity in the love of husband and wife. So he mentioned this in 2006, actually November 21st. We are in November. So that's more than, yeah, 19 years ago. And he said there are two stages. The first stage is the sexual purity before getting married, and the second stage is the fidelity in the love of husband and wife. So, like I said, there are two components. So, one component is before getting married, and the other component is within the dimension of marriage, right? And really reflects all of our life, because I think we are all striving to get married, right? We I think everybody wants to have a partner, to be happy with someone else, when you know that there is somebody else who will stay with you until the end, and you can rely on this person, and you can, love this person, and you are absolutely confident that this person loves you, then actually our lives can be divided into our preparation to get married and then our life from marriage and onward. That's why the concept of sex or the intimate relationship between man and woman is important in our preparation before getting married and also during our married life. So actually the word absolute that Father Moon put, actually it connects to the absoluteness of absolute goodness, absolutely good. That's number one. And then number two is absolutely holy, absolutely holy. And number three, absolutely healthy. And of course, lastly is absolutely safe. And this is the kind of relationship that is within the protection of marriage, or protection of this institution. So like I said again, before marriage, absolute sex means actually no sex, prepare, wait until we get married. And then after marriage, again also no sex, um, but actually it means no sex outside of marriage, no sexual relationship outside of marriage. This is the two components. I'm just sharing them in a different way. And today we will just review how common it is, these these two components. They are so common in almost all the, if not all, most of the world scriptures, most of the religious scriptures are mentioned there. And as you know, this is a book, World Scripture, published in 1991. And in this book, uh, we're going to look at two parts. One is that within the bond of marriage, sexual relationship is a blessing and it is good. And then this relationship outside of marriage is actually not good, it's wrong. And there are so many warnings about illicit sexual relationships using many different languages. And also many times it was portrayed as a matter of life and death, a matter of spiritual life and or spiritual death, if I may say. So this is very interesting. So concerning the first component, that we should have proper human sexuality, that we should have in all religious understanding, all religious teachings, that the holiness and the sacredness of love within marriage is such an important, there is such an important emphasis on it. Yeah. And we will read now from different scriptures. This is from Hinduism. And again, our emphasis here that marriage and family are universal. Marriage and family is not something that just, one culture think is good, or one religion think is good, or one country think is good. But actually, it's so interesting because it transcends all cultures, it transcends all religions, and it transcends all the languages, all the characteristics of the people, because people are the same. They're looking for the same thing, and what makes them happy is the same thing. So in Hinduism, it says, I am he, you are she, I am song, you are verse, I am heaven, you are earth, we two shall here together dwell, becoming parents of children. So it's basically a man and a woman coming together, dwelling together to become man and woman. But it's mentioned really in a beautiful and poetic way. And then the next one is from Judaism. So this one says, Blessed art thou, O Lord, King of the universe, who created mirth and joy, bridegroom and bride, gladness, jubilation, dancing and delight, love and brotherhood, peace and fellowship. This is from the Talmud. And it is so beautiful because it connects the bridegroom and the bride with God as the King of the universe, with joy, with jubilation, with celebration, with dancing. And this is really amazing. It shows you the impact and the strength of this relationship and this connection between a man and a woman. And then in Buddhism, it says, supporting one's father and mother, cherishing wife and children, and a peaceful occupation, this is the greatest blessing. So the greatest blessing is to cherish your wife, and your children. And in Confucianism, the moral life of man may be likened to traveling to a distant place. One must start from the nearest stage. It may be likened to ascending a height of public responsibility. One must start from the lowest step, one's family. So you have to start from the your moral life starts. You are going to a faraway place, but you have to start from the stage near you. But also when you are going to the highest public responsibility, you have to start with your family. If you start with your family, then you are able to, continue, and then you go higher and higher in your public responsibilities. That's where you start from. This is the foundation. And of course, in Christianity, it's much clearer. From the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder. This is amazing that actually this is here it links this relationship between a husband and wife. It's a relationship with where God is present. This is really amazing, where God is present, and that God brought them together so no man can separate them from each other. And it really gives it a like I said, and I think we mentioned before in one of the lectures, it gives a higher value to this relationship between man and woman, that it shouldn't be taken lightly. It shouldn't be taken lightly that people, do whatever they want, or not think seriously about it and not prepare well. But actually, we have to prepare well if we link it to this divine presence. And this one is interesting. This is from the Tenrikyo. It's a Japanese religion. It's a new religion started in the early 80s, 1800s, 1838 or so. So it says, representing heaven and earth, I have created husband and wife. This is the beginning of the world. That's amazing. This is the beginning of the world, a man and a woman, husband and wife. And in Islam as well, Allah, created for you mates from among yourselves, and He has put love and mercy between your hearts. Yeah, so we have mates and we have love and mercy between us. And then in Sikhism, not those not those are true husband and wife that with each other, merely consort. Truly wedded are those that in two frames are as one light. Okay, this is amazing. So it says, not all those who are just together as are husband and wife, not just because they are together, they are husband and wife, but those who are really like in two frame, they are one light. They are as one light, like they have the same light going through them, or they come together. They are two frames. They come together, and then one light comes through them. This is really deep, but it also shows the speciality of the union between man and woman. It's very different. It's not a normal relationship when you have friends. It's not the same thing. It's really something that we were created in that way, so that we can actually together we bring a different light and a different perspective. And of course, Reverend or Dr. Sam Myung Moon, he talked a lot about this, and he said this world was created in order to realize love centered on the family. Um, and connecting to all of those lectures we are hearing in this seminar, actually, this is so important because somehow when we lose the emphasis, when we lose the perspective of looking at the family, everything is broken. But if we really want to fix the society, we want to fix our problems, we have to start from the family. And if we want to start from the family, we have to start, of course, raise our kids properly. But the beginning of the family is when a man and a woman come together. That's when a family is formed. So in a sense, when this man and woman they come together with a love that is good love, that is altruistic love, and centered on good values, then naturally the children will grow in this environment, and those children will make another family, another family. So the family is the model. The family is the model, and if we don't work on the family, then we are not able to make a model society or a model community. So we talk now about the sacredness of the human or man and woman sexual relationship in this institution of marriage, mentioned in so many scriptures. And in addition to those kind of scriptures, there are also other scriptures that warns, and this is important. They warn about misusing love outside of marriage. This is important because there are, even though we talk about, let's say, free sex or, yeah, they say free sex or they say safe sex or whatever, that is one thing. But there are so many other problems. There are so many sexual problems, and it's there in the society. It's actually everywhere surrounding us. It's just crazy. Yeah, it's really unbelievable. I don't know. I'll give an example. Yesterday, I don't use TikTok, but I downloaded TikTok on my phone, and I put the TikTok account because I want to talk about the values that I have. I want to just have a way to express myself. And then somehow I don't have many people I'm following, but somehow TikTok brings you some video, yeah, and then I got this strange video. But then because that video came up, then other videos were coming after it. And I really didn't know what to do. It was so surprising. I was so shocked. Like I didn't do anything, but it appeared on TikTok. This is a problem. We are not looking for these kind of situations, let's say if we call it improper or some exposures to contents on the internet, but they appear. So in this kind of situations, really, we have to also have a clear mindset. We have to have a mindset. Okay, what is this? Is this something good for me, or is this something not good for me? And I would tell you, if this was me 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I don't know how I would react. I did not have that clear mindset in my mind. Now, because I know and it's clear, I know, like, okay, this is not good. I need to figure it out. I need to find a way to stop it. But this mindset comes also from relating with other people, comes from reading more and understanding. And part of this lecture helps us to, or these lectures help us to understand why we should not engage with these situations, why it's important not to let it affect us. And um this is just from the scriptures, but anyway, the outcome is always um, connects to peace within us. Peace, how to have peace, how to have goodness within us. So in the scriptures, again, many scriptures. So this is Hinduism. It says, from lustful passion comes the confusion of the mind, then loss of memory, then negligence of duty. From this loss comes the ruin of reason, and the ruin of reason leads to destruction. You see here, it started with lustful passion, but it just didn't say lustful passion, like what we understand, like I say haram or it's not good, you shouldn't do it. But actually, it's very logical because it confuses the mind. When we follow this kind of desires, it confuses the mind. We don't focus, we don't remember well, and then we neglect our duty. And then from all of this, it leads to some sort of destruction. Either, the heart, a person feels confused or feels disturbed, or in the action themselves that they cannot function as they want to, or they would do normally. And then in Buddhism, it says, four things happen to the thoughtless man. This is another level, who takes another man's wife: the degradation of the soul, a frightened pleasure, the danger of the law, and the path of hell. So these are just some examples. Again, it reflects the internal state when people are in such situation. And then it goes even much extreme. It's really extreme if you read it, but it's interesting. All the scriptures are similar. So it says, It is better to swallow a red hot iron ball, which would consume one like a flame of fire, than to be immoral. That's amazing. And immoral, there are so many things immoral. Immoral doesn't mean what we'll talk about today only, but many things. So, but it shows you how extreme it can be, that even this physical torture is better than the torture of being sucked into immoral actions or immoral environments or immoral thoughts. How it's even worse than that, because this situation where we engage with this unpleasant, or immoral, immoral environments, then actually it's so difficult. It is so difficult, and really it consumes us from the inside. Again, from Buddhism, he who destroys life. So look at the different, different actions, how they are put together. He who destroys life, who utters lies, who takes what is not given to him, who goes to the wife of another, who gets drunk with strong drinks, he digs up the very roots of his life. Which again, logically meaning, it means, from a society perspective, from a human being, engaging with others, actually it's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. It's not good for me. I cannot be a good person if I do these actions. And this is a Chinese proverb: prostitution is the head, greatest of evil. This is from Jainism. Jainism is a religion in India. It says, it is better to die than to indulge in partaking of forbidden lustful pleasure. I mean, all these things are extreme. I mean, it doesn't mean that, okay, you should go, we should go die, but it means how bad it is and how it's important to wake up and, improve. And this is from Zoroastrianism. I hope I said it correctly in English. Maybe some of our participants are familiar with it. It says adultery is the worst deed that man and tyrants commit. And going forward towards the Abrahamic religions and more of the monotheistic religions, Moses, when he received the Ten Commandments, in the Ten Commandments there is, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife or property. So you don't take what's not yours, and you shall not commit adultery. Um, and this is amazing because if we think of our preparation to get married, actually, before we get married, we don't have a partner yet. So we don't have a partner who is ours. Once we get married, then our partner, my partner, is mine, and I am my partner's. And then we are together. We share our lives together. We share everything together. But before that, we should not take something that's not ours. And it includes also this kind of relationship because it's not ours yet. The time has not come yet. And then moving on to the Bible, the Holy Bible. This is from Corinthians. It says, 1 Corinthians, flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a man commit are outside his body, but he who sins sexually sins against his own body. So in a sense, it even gives you a different reflection that actually in engaging in such kind of relationships, it's not about destroying the other person or the relationship itself, but actually it's about destroying myself, destroying my own body, even though I don't see it, but I am scarring my heart, scarring my spirit, and scarring my form. And also in Matthew, you have heard that it was said, this is Jesus, that's what Jesus said. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But then Jesus continued, he said, but I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your eye sins, pluck it out. If your hand sins, cut it off. Isn't that extreme? A little bit extreme, yeah. Not a little bit, very extreme. But it shows you how important we are. We take it seriously. It doesn't mean you go and cut your hand or pluck your eye out. That's not what it means. But it means it is so serious. We have to fix it. If we are in such situations, we have to really reflect seriously and we have to find a solution, find a way out, find a way to improve. And in the Quran it says, "Do not come near adultery, for it is a shameful deed and an evil opening the road to other evils." And again also it says, "Do not commit fornication. The penalty on the day of judgment will be doubled." Yeah. And it connects the fornication with what worshiping false gods and murders. They are all together. They get the double punishment. So this shows you how serious it is. Even in the Baha'i community, the Baha'i teachings, Baha'i writings, it says the Baha'i faith condemns the illegitimate and improper expressions of the sex impulses, such as free love, all of which it considers positively harmful to man and to the society. And this is from Sikhism. Sexual relationship with another's wife is like eating poison. The enjoyer comes to grieve. The man of lust is not satisfied with any number of women. He sins and then regrets, and so is withered away by sorrow and greed. Okay, so coming back again to what Father Moon said, he said about the family, again, like the family is the essential unit of the society. He said immorality and licentiousness in the personal lives of adults ultimately destroy the lives of their children. The reason today's society does not have a level of happiness to match its level of material affluence is that families are being destroyed. As I mentioned, the focus is family, and the focus is how we can build a better society by working on our families. And if we work on our families, then automatically also we can help our children to develop, this kind of understanding, and then the society will be better and we can function happily and have a good experience. So yeah. So thank you. This is the content of today. It's not a lot of content, but a lot of a lot of scriptures. Yeah.
So, well, thank you everyone for coming. So we'll be here like our next section, not our next lecture from next week will be called Life, Love, Life, and Lineage. So I hope to see you again here next week, 7 p.m. And well, I hope you have a good rest of the week and see you again next week. Okay, bye.